It's Crystal, the goddess. Yes, I'm actually driving. We're gonna see how this goes because excuse the stuff in the back. I had a sound bath and I completely forgot to take the things out of my car last night. Um, I was gonna do it at night and I forgot. So this morning, behold my surprise. Yes, I am gonna be driving, so I won't be looking at you as much because safety first. I know you care about my safety, but I did a post on Instagram recently. Okay, so this video is, as you can see from the title, I am in limbo. I am not sure what I want to do with my business. I was very hesitant to even talk about it with my community. And the reason was I was fearful of being like judged, like, oh my gosh, this woman keeps changing her mind, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, you know what, F that. We're not going to live in fear of being judged. Like, that's not what we're going to do. So I was like, I'm just going to, and so I was like, okay, no music. I just need to talk about, I need to think. I need to have some time to think. And I was like, let's think on live. Let's do this. We'll do a think aloud. So here's the dilemma. The digital dollar dynasty. Recently, I said I was going to make a pivot from being in the wealth industry to focusing on holistic healing, so more of like a health type of industry and spirituality. I told you that I wanted to make that pivot because it made more sense. I already have a holistic healing brand. I could just use content as I create for my holistic healing brand. I could use that like BTS content for the DDD content, the digital dollar dynasty. The issue that has come up is I find myself still not posting on the DDD page. And I was like, okay, I need a product. So I made my spirituality bundle. And I'm like, I don't know. There's just a disconnect there. And so I even did a post yesterday where I was like on my Instagram page for DDD. And I was like, you haven't even done anything yet. You ain't really did anything yet. And it's like, I want to go hard with digital marketing. But there's stuff that, like, my HOD, my holistic healing brand, keeps pulling me in, keeps pulling me back. And I'm able to do them both simultaneously or at least pull away from HOD enough to build my DDD brand. However, is not the case. Oh, I got people viewing the live. Okay, now. However, that's not the case. And so now I'm at this point, the limbo, the standstill, where I'm like, what? Not 10 people. How 10 people viewing in the middle of the day? Say, hey, is there a chat box? I can't see it. But anyways, I was like, here's the standstill. Because I also, what I figured with DDD as I transitioned to the holistic healing brand, like focus in that niche, I was like, I've been wanting to build a community for holistic healers. I've been wanting to do that. So I was like, well, this will allow me to build that community. So over the past 2 weeks, I've been thinking about how do I build that community? What would that look like? Where would we meet? What would the community consist of? I know I want a place for people to be able to network with each other. I know I want a place where people can collaborate with each other. Like if I want to do a holistic healing event, which I do, now I have a network of people where I could be like, yo, I know you do this. Come be a part of my event. I know you do that. Come be a part of my event. However, the dilemma that's rising up is like, where would that, how does that tie into DDD? It's interesting because with my community, I also was like, okay, if I built this community, then I could speak directly to my community, which then makes me think about, well, wanting to have an Instagram page focused just on holistic healing, where, I mean, similar to a theme page. Theme pages are really big right now, so I was like, if I just posted about those type of things, I don't know. This morning I was in a little, like I said, this limbo mental warfare because I'm like, okay, scratch DDD being holistic healing, just focus on entrepreneurs and create something new, which is holistically aligned, and then make that a part of my holistic healing brand that I already have. It's just interesting. It's very interesting of me trying to figure out the best way that this works. When I was in front of my altar, my ancestral altar yesterday, Be slow to speak, quick to listen. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so it's funny you say that because I was going to talk about how I was in front of my ancestral altar yesterday and these ideas came to me about like more of the holistic healing community space and what that would look like. And I did feel like it was coming to me the way that it was because I was in front of my altar in that way. And so what I'm thinking about doing perhaps is I have some options. I'm thinking about DDD, the digital marketing brand that I just created, because I also don't want to create, like, it's not about creating a whole new business. It's about repurposing or retargeting what I already have created. And so I'm thinking about, like, okay, DDD can focus on entrepreneurs generally, and then I can create a House of Divinity page. A holistic healing brand that focuses on, like I say, more of a theme page, but I target healers, and then I'm offering resources for healers, digital products for healers that healers can use and add to their business. The issue with that, number one, is like, why would you want to do two more businesses? So it's like, so the DDD, that digital marketing page would probably not exist, right? So it's like, and I think that's also part of it where it's like, dang, do you really want to end something that you've been working on all this time? But it's like, I'm paying for my website for DDD. I'm paying for my stand store every month. So now it's like you're just throwing money away at this point because you haven't even been feeding that business. So now you're just throwing money in a bucket. And so it's like, how do you recoup that money? If I were to make my holistic healing digital page, like focused on digital marketing for holistic healers, then at least I can add that to my website that already exists. Here's the page for consumers who want to receive healing. Here's a page for healers. Because one thing that's true, and where all this even comes from, that I noticed recently, is that I attract a lot of healers to my holistic healing page. So it's like, how do you leverage that? You already, like, for whatever reason, right now, I've been attracting so many healers. So it's like, and it feeds into, like I said, I've already had this idea in my head about creating a community for healers, and it's like, so that's, what that tells me is, like, now would be a good time to start your community. The issue with that is, like, you're starting another thing. And I don't want to have too many things. I want to pick one thing to focus on. And if I'm saying that I want to build a digital empire, I need to be feeding my digital business. And that's something that I haven't been doing. So basically I'm trying to figure out, how do I feed my digital business? And how do I make the digital business something that I want to feed, right? Because there's obviously a misalignment, which is why I'm not able to get the things done right now. So I literally have been in this limbo. I've been going through so many different ideas, so many different scenarios, trying to figure out what would be the best move. And honestly, y'all, I just don't even know. I really don't even know. And that's why I really feel like somebody thinking about that comment, be slow to speak, quick to listen, definitely will meditate tonight on that. We'll definitely meditate tonight to see what comes up for me. Like I said, I got this whole message when I was in front of my altar, my ancestral altar yesterday. So if I were to meditate in front of my altar again, I'm curious. I'm curious what that would look like, what that message I would receive would look like. This is confusing. I have one lane merging to me, and I'm trying to merge over, and I can't tell if people are going to let me over. Yeah. But, all right. That's my little mini rant of me being in limbo. The main reason I am sharing this is because limbo is normal, okay? Sometimes you have to make pivots, and I want to encourage you to be unapologetic when you feel like you need to make a pivot. If you are receiving a message and something is telling you that, like, this ain't it, this ain't working, we need to switch it up, trust that voice, trust your intuition, and that's what my intuition is telling me. Like, that's why there's so much hesitancy to get started. I am a master executor. I execute things, boom. I'm a master executor. Like, I get things done, and so the fact that there's so much resistance is like, nah, something's not aligned here. So instead of worrying about being judged about, like, oh, this chick keeps switching it up, I decided to share with y'all, like, this is a natural part of my experience. I still believe that my digital dynasty is going to lead me to financial freedom. The issue is that there's a lot of different avenues that I can take, and so I want to hone in and focus in on one of those avenues, and that's my goal right now, is to really do that. So that's exciting. We shall see what happens. I guess I'll go ahead and get off this live and just have some time to talk with myself, or just listen, like the person said in the comments, and just listen to like what comes up for me. But I knew I wanted to think out loud, and that's why I was like, F it, let's go live and tell the people, like, let's be part of this experience together. So appreciate you for tuning in. If you're curious about what I offer, I'll update the caption when I get in front of a laptop, and I will talk to you soon. I hope you have a great day, morning, night, whatever it is. Talk to you later. Bye. How do I exit?